Thank you.
You are my sunshine.
Come on, ladies, real sweet, real sweet. Real sweet.
You brighten up my life.
And I know I don't get it right all the time.
I know that I'm not right sometimes.
But when I need it.
Now, Miss Gwendolyn.
I have a story.
Yes, because that's what I wanted to know.
No, I have a lot of stories, but as a publicist, I don't share most. But I will share the story about Aretha. And it was just what Deanna was saying about the real lesson in this story. Aretha, a lot of people know that she didn't travel by airplane. So she for decades, she didn't go to Europe. She turned down millions, not traveling around the world. So she had not gone to LA in 21 years. It was her return to Los Angeles in 21 years. I can't remember what year it was. But of course, everyone was calling and wanted to do an interview. So journalist Rob Hilburn had called, he had been interviewing her over the years, but of course he wanted to do a sit down. He wanted to do a big story. And she had told me a couple of people to get in contact with. She said, I want you to get in contact with the LA Sentinel. And it was like a lot of Black press, right? And I'm like, okay, I'll get to them. So I was talking to Rob Hilburn every day. And I said, Aretha, Rob Hilburn, he said that he hadn't interviewed you, he hasn't interviewed you in person in over 20 years. He's been covering all your records, all your events. And I said, he would like to do an interview before you come to LA. And she said, well, no, I don't have time, I'll see Bob when I get there and I'll do something with him, but I can't do anything prior to that. I've got to iron, I've got to pack. She said, I will be 5 days on the tour bus, And she said, but what's happening with the LA Sentinel?
All right.
Okay. And so now I couldn't tell her that the LA Sentinel hadn't called me back yet. That wasn't going to be the story to tell her. So I said, okay, well, we're going to get in contact with the LA Sentinel. I said, but Aretha, this is Robert Hilburn. It's the calendar section of the Los Angeles Times. It's, almost 500,000 people. She said, I don't care if it's 5 billion people. Okay. She said, I said, and I said, the LA Sentinel is like 50,000, viewership. She said, those are 50,000 people that love me.
Come on.
And she said, get the interview done, Gwen. She said, tell Bob Hilburn, I'll see him when I get to Los Angeles. And it just taught me, I learned so many lessons from her about publicity, but it just taught me like what artists during that time had to do. They always honored the Black press. We don't see that a lot today. Most artists today, they want to be in People magazine, they want to be in Time, Newsweek. And Aretha was always like, what is Jet going to cover? What is Ebony going to cover? And she always, every time she was in town, she always did the Black press, always the Black weeklies. And she told me, she said, listen, when no one else wanted to cover Black artists,
right.
She said they were always there, and she will always do an interview with the Black press. And it's just like, I wish more artists today had that thought process. They don't care about doing Black weeklies. They don't. Just
right.
They don't. And so that was a lesson that I always still, stuck with me with Aretha, and I think is an important lesson. And yeah. That was the story. That was one of many, but yeah.
That's amazing.
Don't know what I would do without you in my life today.